Not just free checking, maximum strength checking.
Extended hours. Huh? I'd like to get to a branch without getting on the LIE.
Email alerts that save me money.
I want ATMs uptown, downtown, out of town, everywhere, all over the place.
On every corner, in every borough.
Can you do that for me? I think you can.
Maximum strength checking, only from Taste.
A beloved mother is found killed where crime is almost unheard of.
President Bush introduces the nation to another new powerful player in town. His mission is to head off terrorist attacks.
An FBI informant who set himself on fire in front of the White House has his day in court.
You're watching NBC for New York. And now, Chuck Scarborough, Sue Simmons, Janice Huff, and Len Berman. This is News Channel 4 at 11.
Good evening. Tonight, detectives are baffled by the suspicious death of a woman whose body was found in a bank parking lot.
A postal worker in the Bronx was just going to work when she made the gruesome discovery. A 54-year-old woman found in a parking lot in Riverdale, and tonight we're finding out more about just who she was. Andrew Stiff is live with the latest. Andrew?
Well, Sue, the woman in question is from Morris Heights. Family members say she raised 9 children. She was found dead this morning in Riverdale, a community where violent crime is extremely rare. Tonight, police don't know why she died or if they're dealing with a murder. Miguel Heredia is in shock tonight. The woman who raised him gone. 54-year-old Felicita Heredia of Morris Heights, found dead in this Riverdale parking lot this morning. Police at the 50th Precinct don't know what happened to her.
All we know is she's dead. May God rest in peace. That's all about that I know. You want to know what happened? Ourselves.
Postal worker Sandy Marrero made the discovery around 7 this morning. In the parking lot of North Fork Savings, where she usually parks, Marrero found the body of a woman lying face down.
I was on my way to work. I parked in the parking lot in the bank, and I found this body. I found the lady laying down on her stomach. I went inside, told my supervisor, and my supervisor took action.
When police arrived, they cordoned off the parking lot, dusted for fingerprints, considered every piece of evidence, like a lone sneaker, and even combed the wooded slope behind the lot near Skyview Apartments.
Clothing was somewhat in disarray. Speculated now that that clothing became disheveled as a result of being perhaps dragged out of a car.
While it will be up to the medical examiner to determine what caused Heredia's death, it appears she had been dragged from a car in a neighborhood where violent crime is very rare.
Well, it's a fairly safe area. We don't usually have murders.
Yeah, it's a very safe neighborhood. Everybody knows each other. But, you know, you have a lot of traffic coming in and out.
Heredia's family tells us she did not know anyone in Riverdale and had no reason to be here. Once again, a police sergeant told me tonight there were no signs of trauma. The medical examiner's office has scheduled an autopsy for tomorrow. We're live in Riverdale tonight. Andrew Stiff, News Channel 4.
Andrew, thank you. The family of a chemist found dead at a water filtration plant in Totowa spoke publicly today for the first time since her murder. The family refused to comment on the investigation, but described their sorrow over Gita Angara's death. Angara had been reported missing last Wednesday, and investigators have ruled her death a homicide. How she ended up in the water tank is still a mystery.
My mom she was so loving. She was full of life. When she came home, you know, she didn't focus on work. She didn't, you know, she would always be there for us. She never said, okay, well, I have to do this first, so you guys are going to have to wait. Like, her kids were everything to her.
Angara was testing water in the tank of the Passaic Valley Water Commission before her body was found in that very tank.
Tonight, a new man has the president's ear when it comes to protecting the country against terrorism. He will go over the heads of the Defense Secretary, the CIA, and FBI if he has to. John Noel is here with more on the new head of government intelligence.
Sue, it is without a doubt a tremendous task to try to take on, overseeing 15 separate national security agencies, including the CIA. Well, today, President George Bush introduced the man he wants to do just that, be America's first National Intelligence Director. His name is John Negroponte, right now the U.S. ambassador to Iraq. But the man President Bush wants running the entire U.S. intelligence apparatus, from the CIA to the FBI.
We're going to stop the terrorists before they strike. We must ensure that our intelligence agencies work as a single, unified enterprise.
Negroponte's nomination comes one day after Congress was briefed on the likelihood of another al-Qaeda attack on U.S. soil. He will also have to deal with the suspected connection between Syria and international terrorism, and have to immediately focus attention on concerns about nuclear weapons programs in North Korea and Iran.
I appreciate your confidence in choosing me for what will no doubt be the most challenging assignment I have undertaken in more than 40 years.
Daunting is how one expert on national security describes the task ahead.
These are all very complex issues that require skills that you rarely find altogether in any one person.
Along with being U.S. ambassador to Iraq, Negroponte has held the same position in the Philippines, Mexico, and Honduras. In Congress and among members of the 911 Commission that recommended the appointment of a National Intelligence Director, reaction to the 65-year-old Negroponte has been favorable, echoed by New York City's top police officers.
I think it's an excellent choice. I knew Ambassador Negroponte when he was here with the United Nations. He is a consummate professional.
Negroponte's nomination, however, hasn't been without criticism. Many politicians and human rights activists in Central America tonight are expressing outrage that the man who served in Honduras during the 1980s when the U.S. government was actively supporting the rebels trying to overthrow the Sandinista government in nearby Nicaragua has been elevated to this position. Sue?
John Noel, thank you. More fallout from the Iraq prisoner abuse scandal, this time over information about a detainee who was already dead when he was photographed. The Associated Press now reports Manabel al-Jamadi died during a CIA interrogation in November of 2003 while suspended by his wrists, which were cuffed behind his back. Al-Jamadi died after about 30